Vegas. I remember that I'm crippled. I still remember that. Don't worry, brother.
Because Hog Fighter killed my grandma, okay?
Man, Luke, you gotta draw something for Christmas.
Damn it, I almost got him.
Like for everyone, like a collection. You should draw me. You should draw me. Killing a dog.
You should draw all of us. You should draw like
Draw
me.
all of us killing dogs.
No, you should
It's a
just
massacre.
Okay.
Draw Snoopy the dog with a fat blunt, a gun, and he's using that gun to kill a dog.
All right, I'll consider that one.
All right, Luca, but
No,
actually,
that's not me.
you should draw like a photo.
We are on stream right now.
I know.
Actually?
That's why I said that.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dumb it. Why would he be?
Nah, he's joking. It's just a joke, guys.
Jorking around, brother.
It's just a prank, bro.
They're ganging on the one dude. They're
should draw
gangbanging
like-
that poor guy.
The one dude.
Draw like a picture of me.
Oh my fucking god! If you make a One Piece reference, I'm gonna curb stomp you.
The one dude.
The one guy.
One dude
The
is
one
The
guy
one
is real.
dude is real.
Oh, Auntie, it's real.
The one guy
Oh,
is
baby.
real.
I can't believe we made it back in one piece.
Truly an honor.
I left everything.
I left everything I own.
Ilos.
Ooh, someone texted me. What is this, bro? What is it?
I think typing in artist anatomy is better than gross anatomy. Yeah, these are all the forms you actually kind of care about.
I'm not gonna lie. In New Vegas, I actually kind of prefer not using the VATs. Maybe not prefer not using them, but like it is pretty effective to just kind of shoot people normally.
And see what you prefer. Not... Active acid or something? Or...
This is also just a really good form. There's the abductors. This is a wonderful form of the body, actually, to kind of work with. It has all the major forms up here. Here we are. This is what I'm looking for, though. I want the plate to fold around the sartorius muscle. Or form. No, actually, I think this is a muscle. I want the leg to fold around the sartorius muscles. The like entire plate form I want around that.
Oh. Fuck.
Then I kind of want to like take a comic booky form to that. This leg form, I kind of want to build boots around. The leg plates and the boots, I think, would just work really good here.
There you go. Let go. Waystone them.
Oh.
30 waystones for the boys.
About that. I did not think about that. I'm sorry. Didn't mean it like that. Didn't hell.
I leveled up. Hey.
What? What is it?
All right, let's see what we're all up to.
Ooh, I forgot about cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
Yep.
You can wait. That's in Fallout. Seriously?
Yeah. Cannibalism. You gotta get it, and every time you do it, you lose karma. I don't know too much about karma, but I don't want to lose karma. Also, if you do it in front of someone, it is considered a crime against humanity.
I mean, that makes sense. And that it's Fallout, it kind of doesn't.
When it happens enough times, you'll send someone over to check up on it. No rush to give us a flight. Part scout, part commando, part sheriff. Training is brutal, and I'd say 8 out of 10 recruits washes out before you get your ranger back. You gotta prove you can be quieter than a shadow. Or ferociously sexual. Couple dozen.
Oh, okay.
The Rangers mostly draw from the base against the RR. All quiet at the moment.
All right.
We shouldn't have said anything in the first place.
Now that we got that covered, time to finally get into motion. The motion of the ocean. Whatever you want to call it.
There's so much stuff.
This tile's better not fit here.
What was I even thinking of? My game is plugged in. This needs to get plugged in now. Like now. Yesterday, even. Alright. Knowing most of the Greatblader form at this point. Let's see what I wrote down. check my notes.
Hello there. Good to see a friendly face. Don't suppose you care to trade. Missing a few. I'll tell it to you straight. It started off innocently enough. It was travel. You didn't show any reaction to it, so I figured you didn't know what you'd gotten your hands on. There's an old wasteland legend that says caps with the blue star on them, the tail goes, are the key to that treasure. They're called all over the place. You'd think they'd all have been picked clean by now.
Alright, I can
Somehow-
already tell the pose I'm going for there is not going to work in terms of
Some say
showing
it's
off the
all
legs.
hoping someone will finally collect enough caps to earn the treasure. Other than bottles, you'll just have to scavenge. Find caps in the unlikeliest places. Blue Star caps are no exception. It's said that
Okay.
the treasure is guarded by a man named Festus. He's the one who asked for the Blue Star.
Alright, I can hear that game better than you can.
Standing a lonely vigil, waiting for someone to come and take the treasure off his hand. That'll make him pretty damn old. I've met a few people in my travels who claim they actually met him, and they weren't the lying type either.
It sounds exactly what like the lying type would say.
No one knows. Money, weapons, water. It is, or maybe was, something of value. That's enough to get people motivated. Nah, I gave it up years ago. Too dangerous. And even if I did still collect, I'll tell you the same. There's people out there so mad with the idea of treasure. No problem. If you do end up trying to collect more stars, watch out for a man named Alan Marks.
You know what that means? If I kill Alan
Fish.
Marsh, I get a bunch of stars. That's all I'm hearing. I'm dying of thirst, and the majority of my limbs are broken.
Max, did you play the fish sound effect again?
No, I just said it. Fish.
Interesting. Angus? No, alright. Whatever. Let's get some key poses. So we know exactly where that's going. This needs to go just a little bit. This needs a sharper edge.
No longer have dehydration sickness. Let's go.
Does that slightly match what I was going for? Maybe? No, not at all. Okay. Try it again. Nah, line's too deep.
Full water.
Oh, little guys. Little dolphins.
My girl is trapped by geckos on the... Go up the path, past the broken rate. You will?
God damn it, now I gotta help this guy.
Because his girl was captured by geckos?
Yep.
chose an exceedingly complex one. I don't know why I chose this one. Of all things.
I'm gonna go hop on a different VC. I'll see y'all.
Alright, Seaman.
Okay, Gay One. Okay, those geckos just kind of fucked up that dog. Okay.
You start with cylinders.
Wait, when did I get a service rifle? I'm not fucking around. Shoot him up!
No, actually, I think it looks better like this.
Well, it's good to know that I have a service rifle if I ever need it.
And then round, and that goes around. And back under it, like this. Does that mean that it connects around though? Like it wraps? Okay.
I'm pulling out a shovel.
Is this the implied form?
I'm gonna assume the disembodied body is not a good sign for his girlfriend.
Somebody's being negative.
I'm not going to rearm the bear trap. Alright.
Maybe he could catch his girlfriend.
Oh shit, 100 bullets. This guy was ready. Okay.
It's also not really that much greater news for his girlfriend. Think anybody else is there to help her? There was this guy, this dead guy with 100 bullets.
He was dead as dirt too. I've never seen anyone deader than that before. Surprisingly dead. Shocking, even.
No shell form on the legs either. Okay. This can be saved. This can absolutely be saved. First things first, let's respect the form a little bit by rounding it back out.
Sorry I tricked you, but thanks for clearing up.
Oh, he lied to me. Alright, then. Well, guess what, buddy? Guess what you're doing for Christmas? Merry Christmas! Ho ho ho!
Kind of a
Fucking
piece of shit
unloading it,
lying
man.
to you.
What you got on you, buddy? A gun? I don't know. I guess I could use that to repair my other gun. That didn't go as bad as it could have. I'm gonna go grab more water though, 'cause water feeds me. Run, kid.
Alright, that's cool. I don't know why on earth I was doing it like that would have been even the slightest bit correct.
We are Charleston Kirk. We carry the flame. Oh shit, we found this radio signal. Hold on.
Good job. early in the morning when it comes down. Came riding from the south side, looked at him all around. Said, I'm running cattle from his lips, and he's due to do some business with
With a big iron on his hip. Man, I love this song.
I love TS. TS, my jam.
me.
Hmm.
I'm dead to make the slip. The big irons.
You're from out of town, ain't you? Name's Dusty.
Are you playing
Ain't
that song in game?
Yeah,
What happens in this town?
there's a radio on my wrist.
Oh, it's sick.
It is.
Oh, I tend to my ranch. That's about it. House? You must mean what's left of it. Somebody's been attacking our animals. Every night around midnight, Alice and I wake up to some crazy house and gunshots. But it's just one animal. They don't take it or carve it up or nothing. Just leave it there, all full of hope. We'd be grateful, especially if you find before to get my whole stock. But don't go getting yourself killed up. Alice and I'll find a way to make peace. Always have. Beg your pardon, ma'am, but them two-headed bees ain't worth getting shot at. Not to mention what would happen if half of what Novart says is true. Best we can hope is that whoever's doing this will move on or get tired of it. I just hope it happens while we still got animals left. Whoever it is, I don't think they're from around town. Seems like they shoot from the west side. So long.
What brings you here?
It's the strangest thing. Last time it happened, I could swear I heard. But when we finally got up the gumption to go look outside, all we found was our cattle. And I know what they sound like when they get upset. I can't imagine what went on. Dusty can. Nice of you to visit.
All right.
No, I think actually the pelvis form will be a bit lower here
Yeah, rotting corpse.
this time around.
They come from the west. No, a caravan. Look.
What can I do for you? That's not so bad. I'll have you looking as good as new. I mean, what are the chances of me botching another routine procedure in the same day?
What?
That's crazy.
Here's $50.
GG.
All right.
50?
And, did I leave that sitting outside? Well, you know what? Free tetanus shot.
Free tetanus shot. What?
Let's go. What about super tetanus, though?
I no longer have a broken leg, so sure, free tetanus shot. Woohoo. What's the chance of me botching it? Feature.
In the same day.
What can I do for
I
you?
don't think she studied at an accredited institution.
Yeah, and I need sterile medical supplies.
I don't like anything you say. A gun? Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Another satisfied customer. Bye.
I don't think she studied at all.
Alright, dynamic figures.
This video is all about drawing dynamic figures.
Let's learn a little bit about
Time.
dynamic figures.
The number one key to understanding dynamic figures is gravity. We'll start with that, and then we'll learn how to distribute that force all the way up through the body. Finally, we'll take a few examples of some correct but very undynamic inert poses, and we'll make some adjustments and make them much more dynamic and powerful. I'm David Finch. I've been a comic book artist for 27 years. If you enjoy this video, please hit like and subscribe and share with your friends. And if you have any comments or suggestions for future videos, please leave them below.
This is why I like this form in general, because it allows me to kind of create.
In order to start, I wanted to share with you a concept that I got from a book by Michael D. Matesi. It's called Force Dynamic Life Drawing for Animators, and I'll leave a
There's an
link in the
invisible
description of the
man
video
standing
so you
here. I
can
don't know
find
what
the
to
book
do
for
about
yourself.
it.
I think it's a really great book on the
Should I
subject,
shoot him?
and it covers a lot of ground.
Let me
A lot of ground, really, that I won't be covering here, because I like to keep things as simple as I possibly can and just give you the information in a way that I understand it for use in my own figures. But what he does is he shows
Yeah,
a
get
series of
fucking
interconnecting curves.
decimated.
And the concept behind this is you have the force of gravity acting upon your figure.
Oh my
and that
god!
gravity is distributed down through
This
the figure
thing had a minigun
this
on it.
way, and then it bounds down this way, and then it'll bound down.
I'm not gonna
this
take
way,
it because it's
and
damn near
ultimately
broken.
to the ground.
I really
And
don't care for
making
it.
use of that will ground your figure using gravity. And he shows an example in his book that I thought
Well,
was
I think
really,
I found
really
what was
instructive. And he shows
terrorizing you guys.
some
That's
curves
nice.
that are actually
Hi.
connecting into each other. And you can see just from a visual perspective, it's nowhere near as pleasing to look at as something like this. And so what's happening is the force is convening and just ending in a point. And so when you draw symmetrical curves going into each other like that, if I drew a leg like that, and here's my foot, it really has nowhere near the kind of force I
Hey.
would get if I drew
Hey, that's
my
nice.
leg here, and then the bottom here, curve here.
Yeah. Hey, this actually
And
is
so I'm
that's
distributing
actually
the
really
force down
good
this
food.
way, into this curve, down into
Okay,
this
that's
curve
fine.
here, a
Alright,
little bit further
thank
down here, and then into the foot. And it just gives everything much more of a grounded
Okay.
feel.
Hello?
And conceptually, it can be a little bit difficult to understand, and it was a little bit for me to get my head around, but it is very, very useful. And really, I think the number one thing that you want to get from it is just to avoid these kinds of forms, and you can see why they're very, very inert.
What can I do for
And so
you?
we're going to take that, and I'm going to move on
See
to
that?
some figures, and this is very much based on George Bridgman. And so I'm going to draw a figure standing, and I'm going to draw it in a relatively flat
Bye,
posture
bye, bye.
at first. My legs, this is going to be a very simple figure. My lower leg, and then my foot, my head is going to be here. And this figure really has no power or force down into the ground. But if I take that same figure, and I really push my
Is that a
ankles going
rocket
down,
someone's building?
I can get
Oh
a
shit, I
lot
accidentally
more
stole
force
something.
to the ground.
I'll make it.
And you can see
Onward.
how this figure looks like it's being pushed by gravity. You have this form pushing downward and out, and then leading in here, leading to here, and then ultimately down to the ground. And that's why figures that have more of a curved line through them that flows through them have so much more dynamism than something that is just much more flat and inert, or something that, in worst case scenario, just comes to a point like this. And so the next concept that I really want to cover, and this is also something that Michael Matesi covered really well in his book, which I highly recommend that you get a copy of, is all about force moving through a figure. And so if your overall gesture is coming out through this way, let's say, just as an example, you want your whole figure, I'm going to draw my chest here, here's my pelvis, here's a leg, and all my energy is coming up from the ground here. I'll draw the other leg here, there's no weight on it. And I'll draw an arm, and the arm extends all the way through the force. So my force is coming all the way from my foot, all the way through the arm, and the whole figure is an overall gesture. And you can see that just a simple stick figure essentially has a lot of power and force to it just approaching it that way. As opposed to if I was to draw my arm coming out this way, and I've got my force running through my arm this way, but then I'm just going to close it off by drawing the body like this. And so there's no power coming from this shoulder at all, because the rest of the force of my body is shooting up through this way. And so that's why a punch with a follow through is always going to have more power if I draw my arm coming through all the way through the body like this. And then I'll draw my head in here. Here's my arm. Very, very simple drawing. Just get the point across. And I can even accentuate it. I've got this arm pushing forward. If I take my opposing arm and pull it back, it actually pushes this arm out even harder. If I was to take that same arm, I've got force running through my body all the way through the arm, and that's fine. If I take my other arm and put it here, it
You
still
look
has
like
some power to it,
Markiplier.
but now I'm really kind of closing off my body, and I'm not pulling up force all the way from this arm through. Because gravity is so important in a figure, if I draw a figure just standing in an even neutral pose with my gravity right down through the center of the figure, I can draw one leg on one side of it, my other leg on the other side, get my lower legs drawn in here, arms, and there's a simple figure, and my gravity, I kind of came off in the sketch of my line downward. My gravity is basically evenly distributed at the bottom of the figure, and it's very easy to diagnose if your figure is falling over one way or the other way, just by kind of drawing a line through most of the mass of your figure, and your weight needs to be evenly distributed over that center point. If I want to put all my weight on one foot, at that point I need to start to play with the angles of my body. And so I'm going to do something a little bit more like this. This will be my shoulders, this will be my pelvis here. So there's my shoulder, my pelvis. I've got all my weight resting here on my pelvic bone. And I need to make sure that I have a center of gravity again, which is going to be right here. There's my head. And so I'm going to make sure that my leg rests on that center of gravity. And then my other leg, which isn't really bearing as much weight, can come off to the side. And as it is, I feel like my upper body is actually pushed over this far, this way too much. And so I'm erasing it. And let's try that again. And this is where really knowing your center of gravity and where you're distributing your weight can help you diagnose those kinds of problems. And so I'm going to bring my body over just like this a little bit more.
You're lucky not to shoot your own guys, but it did take something out of it.
And there, now I've got my weight distributed well on top of this foot, and that's a problem I could diagnose for myself really quickly and make sure that my figure actually has weight, because I know where I want my center of gravity, and it's on this foot, so I make sure that my mass is distributed over it, and so I just adjusted things over so it had that effect. I don't need ultimately to go with one angle for my upper body and another angle for my lower body. I can do something like I'll do the same angle for my upper body, and now I'm going to do the same angle for my lower body, and we'll distribute the weight on one foot again.
People wouldn't have anything to trade. They don't have to leave.
And so now my weight's going to be distributed on this hip.
Completion does not matter.
And so I'm going to make sure that as much of my mass as possible is distributed right on top of that point.
Ghost town before long. Doesn't matter to
And
me
maybe
what
this
you
is something that would
do.
work
As long as the ghouls are
if we're doing Shakespeare and he's holding a skull in his hand, he's looking up at it, and that's a pose that would really work. just simple gestural sketches, but there you go. And he's got his weight distributed on top of his left leg this way, and I'm drawing the same angle all the way through. And so it's a choice you can make depending on the pose that you want to choose, but the important part is to make sure that your mass is properly distributed over the balance point of your figure. And that really leads us into the next section, where I can draw figures crouched and really make sure that they have mass that powers in through the ground. And so here's my figure. I've got my head here. I'm going to draw an arm coming off this way, and another arm over here. Really doesn't matter. And he's kind of angled toward us this way. And I've got my pelvis just below. And so I can decide if I want to evenly distribute between two legs. And so here's my mass evenly distributed between two legs. And you can see it works, because my whole body is pushing down between the legs as my bracing on the ground. Now, if I want to do this figure and I want to put him squarely on top of one leg, what I need to do for that, and I'll draw the same figure again. And so basically that's a similar figure to what I had the first time around. And I want to put all my weight this way on top of this leg. And so in order to do that, what I need to do is angle my whole body out and bring my pelvis in this way. So now when I bring my foot out, what I want is to make sure that my weight is distributed on top of this foot, and it doesn't need to be completely distributed on top of it.
So
for this case, I'm going to bring my foot out here, my other foot here.
Matters in gesture.
And most of his weight is going to be pushed on top of this foot, and maybe 20% on top of the rear foot. I can take that further.
I'm not gonna lie, this thing, being near this guy just gives me radiation
and
poisoning. Get away from me.
All of my weight on top of my front leg, like this. And I'll bring the head over just a little bit more, just to bring more of my body mass out over my supporting leg. And now I can actually even lift that foot, and it's like and it gives him the feeling of pushing forward on top of this leg here, because all of his mass is on it. It gives us a forward motion toward us, just like that. So next, I'm going to draw a simple torso shape, and I'm going to draw a figure punching. And so here's my arm. My pelvis would be just about here. And this is just a standing figure.
3 pounds of flamethrower fuel.
My hand, my head will be here, just
Buff
in a
out.
position. And I've got my arm extended out. So I'll start with my hand. I tend to do that when I'm drawing a hand extended from the body. And there's my hand. There's my arm extended out. And he's punching. But you can see there's no power in that at all. And it really looks like he's just got his arm lifted out toward us. And what we want to do is make it look like there's power going through that hand. And so the next thing that we can do, the first, I guess, easiest thing to diagnose, is finding out where our power is stopping and why it's not flowing. And in this case, it's stopping from the shoulder right here. So in order to fix that, what we can do is flow our power up through the body. And so I'm going to curve my body. There's my arm socket here. My whole body is arcing into that arm just a little bit more. Here's my hand.
I'm sorry.
Here's my head.
Is that a piece
Here's
of
my hip.
cement
And
on
from here, I'm
top
drawing
of,
the same
like, just
figure.
with rebar through it?
And here's
Called
my
the
other arm.
Rebar Club. It requires 9
And
strength.
It actually has
I
a
can't
little bit
even
more
use it.
power because I'm not stopping the power of my fist going forward here, but I am
Rebar
stopping it
Club.
here. And I'm not creating any power through by keeping this arm just down. And there's no power coming up through the ground at all and through my feet.
Do I have
All my
anything?
power is
No,
coming
I really just have
from
this, which takes E
masses
cells.
on it. It gives us a be pushed on top of this foot.
20
And maybe
I don't
20%
know.
on top
Shit.
of the rear foot. I can take that further by drawing that leg and squarely putting all of my weight on top of my front leg like this. And I'll bring the head over just a little bit more.
Didn't
just
want to
bring
grab
my body
that,
mass
damn it.
out over my supporting leg. And now I can actually even lift that foot, and it's like and it gives him the feeling of pushing forward on top of this leg here because all of his mass is on it. it gives us a forward motion toward us, just like that. So next, I'm going to draw a simple torso shape, and I'm going to draw a figure punching. And so here's my arm. My pelvis will be just about here. And this is just a standing figure. My other arm is going to be here. My hand, my head will be here, just in a relaxed
Holy
position.
shit.
And I've got my arm
Cams.
extended out. So I'll start with my hand. I tend to do that when I'm drawing a hand extended from the body.
Stimbacks!
And there's my hand. There's my arm extended out. And he's punching. But you can see there's no power in that at all. And it really looks like he's just got his arm lifted out toward us. And what we want to do is make it look like there's power going through that hand. And so the next thing that we can do, the first, I guess, easiest thing to diagnose is finding out where our power is stopping and why it's not flowing. And in this case, it's stopping from the shoulder right here. So in order to fix that, what we can do is flow our power up through the body. And so I'm going to curve my body. There's my arm socket here. My whole body is arcing into that arm just a little bit more. Here's my hand. Here's my head. Here's my hips. And from here, I'm drawing the same figure. And here's my other arm. And it actually has a little bit more power because I'm not stopping the power of my fist going forward here, but I am stopping it here. And I'm not creating any power through by keeping this arm just down. And there's no power coming up through the ground at all and through my feet.
No.
All of my power is
They
coming
just give me the
just
option
from
to
this point right
pickpocket
here.
it.
And that'll
Okay.
give you much more power, certainly, than this punch here, but it's still not very dynamic. It's better. But in order to really sell a punch or sell any motion that you
Shit,
want
he
in
had
your figure,
fat on him.
you need to make your
Yeah.
whole body really work. And so in this next version, here's my
Now, if I
upper
want that
body.
forward facing,
There's
then
my
I got
head.
to make this like this.
That's where one arm's going to come through. My other arm, and extend my arm all the way through that. And I'm
Need to make
arcing my
forward
power all the way up through the body like this. I'm going to lift this up the leg completely off the ground because all of my power is pushing up through this back leg here. My head. And then to really sell this punch, I want to pull this arm back. And pulling this arm back arcs all the way through and pushes my weight this way. And so I'm going to bring my arm back. And
like
there are
what I was
times when I'm drawing my arm, I'll even kind of curve it this way because I want to push all
God
of my
damn.
energy through the elbow back like this. And it really kind of accentuates that power coming down this way and bringing it all the way through into the punch. And that's using my whole body to push all of my energy through that hand. And you can see my power is derived from the ground all the way up in through the body and into the punch. And I'm also twisting my body, so my body is twisting around this way. And in order to really accentuate that twist, I want to push my shoulder out this way, but also bring this arm back and really power it through. And so now that we have that covered, I want to take a look at how we can use some of those very simple concepts and start to fix some figures that are looking a little stiff, maybe a little bit off in terms of gravity, and see if we can diagnose the problems that we're having with our figures and use what we've learned to improve them. And really, I think this is the best way to show dynamic figures in action, is to take figures that are really not very dynamic for whatever reason and find ways that we can make them more dynamic. And so for this figure here,
Another
falling
rebar
backward
club. I have
a little bit
no
this
idea
way,
who's getting turned
and that's
into
a bit of a
ash.
problem with the figure.
But they
And so I'm
really
not
like
feeling that
rebar.
center
Ooh,
of
a
gravity
stealth boy.
balance between his legs as much as I would like to. His legs really should be much more centered. I think his center of gravity is really pushing back over here just a little bit too much, and so he's kind of falling backwards. Also, I feel like his head is really pushing away from the figure just a bit this way. It doesn't really have any connection to it, and really there's no real gravitational flow downward through the figure. And so we're going to draw the figure again. I'm going to angle my chest upwards, so the whole angle is like this. And I'm going to make sure I've got my center of balance right here, so I want to make sure my legs are evenly distributed over that. And I'm creating much more of a shape through here that really extends down through the legs too. You can see this leg here kind of follows along that overall shape. And I'm getting a little bit sketchy here. I'm going to draw my other arm just on this side. And now for my head, I've got a shape coming back across the back of my spine, and I want to extend my head up through that shape. And it's very important when you draw a head on a figure to be considering where your spine is and make sure that your head is really centered on that spine. And that will really center your head on a figure and give it an overall feeling. And so there's a figure with my chest out, and it has more power because I can feel the weight pushing down here into the legs, which are counterbalancing it by pulling back just a little bit through here. And I've got my gravity running through my figure. So now for my next example, this is a figure that's punching with one arm and kicking with the opposite leg, which is really the right way to go about it. If you're walking, for instance, and you have one leg extended out and the other leg back, you really want the opposing arm forward and this arm back. That twisting in the body is part of how you produce motion. And so it's done properly in that sense. But the problem with this figure is that this arm pushing forward here is being completely limited by the shoulder being completely pinned. There's no push from the back at all. It's just pinned. All of your energy is pinned right there. So the arm is just really held out there. This arm being pulled back this way also is just pinned right here. There's no movement in the chest at all to get that across. And I have a similar problem with the leg, which is just pinned here, and there's no motion in the body at all to project that leg forward. And so to make the figure more dynamic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of my overall body as a movement of force. And I know that I want to project my body's force out through the hip, which is about here, out this way. And so I'm going to draw my chest in. Here's my pelvis. And I want my whole body to be creating that kind of a shape, to be pushing my energy out right where I want it, right where the leg is extending out. On top of that, I want to really push this arm out more. And so I'm going to twist my body as it comes up and bring it around. So my shoulder is really projecting forward. And then my rear arm, I really want to pull back.
Something wants to kill me.
And the motion of that arm
I just want to
back
do drugs
goes all the way around to push this
and
arm
eat pussy.
forward. Clean up my shape just a little bit now that I've really twisted my body.
What do you want? Fucking freaks.
And I'm going to bring my head forward just a little bit.
That
Balance
did
my
scare
body.
me.
I don't want the figure to be falling over backward. Angling my chest, bringing the arm out,
Alright, let's see.
bringing this arm back, and pushing all of the energy of my body out through the foot gives the whole body some actual. And so for our next one, I've got a character blocking. This is really kind of a karate pose, and this is what you would see if somebody's in a karate dojo and they're just striking that pose, maybe learning the pose, and everything's in the right place and the pose is being done correctly, but it has no power to it. I'm not seeing any power being transferred through this arm, which is blocking out this way. And this arm is being pulled back, and I'm actually feeling
This
that
needs to be
somewhat.
pushed, yeah.
But there's no twist in the body, there's no motion, none of the body just being straight up and down is transferring any motion through that arm at all. And we're going to work with that pose just a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more dynamics from it. And so what I'm going to do is I know I want my arm here to be the focus of my motion, and so I'm going to angle my whole body out toward it. So here's my chest, my pelvis along the same line. I'm drawing out the force through my body this way. And then my arm is going to come out like this, and I really want to accentuate all of that movement through the arm. So I want to make sure that it goes along that line through the body. And all the way down through that wrist. And I can even maybe point that wrist just a little bit because I'm really pushing it. That's where my force really stops, right through that wrist. Just like, or right, I'm saying wrist, right through my elbow, just like this.
Contour.
I've got the other arm pulled back, which I felt like worked just fine. And I'm going to take all of my power, and I really want to push it through this leg. And you can see that my body is pushing right down. All of my energy is pushing right down through the center of the body. But I wanted to push it all the way through the leg, up through that arm. And so I'm going to draw my leg a little bit more like this. And now I'm pushing my energy all the way through that leg, and my other leg, which is going to balance my figure, is going to come out like this. And you can see that I'm actually pushing my energy through that arm, and it looks like I'm really pushing that arm outward, and there's force behind it here. As opposed to
You
a
know
figure
what?
like this, it's really just
Having a
standing there.
plasma
And it really is
gun
just
is really
taking
fun.
your figure and finding your motion, finding your line of motion, and making sure that your figure flows along that line and nothing disrupts that flow. You want to make sure that I've got my leg, and I could be pushing my energy out through it, because my body just sits upright like this, my motion stops right there. And I've got my arm here, and it could be pushing out this way, but because this is just inert here, my motion stops there. Whereas with this one, I've got my motion flowing all the way down through that leg into the foot from the ground. And so this arm is actually being pushed out all the way from the ground, where you derive your power. And the whole body is working to push that arm out. And so for our next figure, I've got a character throwing a punch. Basically, this is a karate style punch. It's really what you would see, again, very similar to this pose here, where it's something you would see somebody practicing a punch. There's no power on the punch at all. It really is just going through the motions. And so, very similarly to this figure here, the reason why there's no power in this arm is I'm completely stopping all my energy right there. And there's no power in this arm because I'm stopping my energy here. I'm really not pulling my arm back using my body. I'm not pushing this arm forward using my body. I'm putting a decent amount of energy through this foot. So the back foot really in this pose is really not bad at all, but I can always make it better. And my center of gravity is well established. My figure is standing upright, there's no movement forward or backward. And this is an example where, very similar to this one, and I should have mentioned this, I'm really pushing my center of gravity forward this way, so I'm pushing forward this way and planting down my weight onto this foot here, and it's pushing my body's mass forward and into this block. And I'm going to do the same thing with this figure here. I'm going to push my figure forward and put more of my weight onto this foot, and so I'm transferring weight from my rear foot up through the body all the way through the arm in one motion, and then planting my weight onto my front foot. And so what I want to do is I'm going to draw a very similar arc that I did before. I want my whole body to flow through that arc all the way through to the punch. And so I'm going to draw my chest shape just like this, and it's much more angled toward us because I'm turning my body around toward us as I project that punch out. There's my arm pushing that punch. My other arm, I want to make sure to really pull back, and my energy is coming up through that elbow this way. And I've got all my energy arcing through the body like this, so I'm going to bring it all the way down through my legs. There's my front leg that I'm transferring my balance and my weight to, and my rear leg going to be extended out through that motion.
Boom, lit his ass up.
I'm going to
So
extend
this
my
thing
head
does
forward
work.
too, just a bit. I don't want my head to be just completely centered on top of my neck. I want it to also be pushing forward with the power of my punch, just like this.
Okay, so that leg form is way too small considering I was
But the truth
playing.
is, I feel like I'm actually losing a
So
little bit of
much of
power
the
when I come up
actual
into the
scale.
arm, and the reason for that is my curve is really going downward like this, and so I feel like if I actually extend my arm just downward from there, I'm arcing my power all the way through the body in one continuous arc that pushes outward. It's like this. And I can make my figure just a little bit more dynamic just by bringing the arm slightly down, and so it moves all the way through with my motion. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in Monday nights for our Monday Night Draw live stream with Meredith and Dave at 8 o'clock Eastern, and I will see you in the next video.
Get upstairs and talk to Jason. Your pranks won't work on me. Jason. Stop
Wait.
All right, smooth skin. Piece of shit.
Smooth skin.
Yeah, it's a slur used against normal people by ghouls, who are people who have suffered extreme radiation poisoning, and yeah,
Kind of racist, Peyton.
Warning.
Not the
they
not the smooth skin remark, the normal people remark. It's a phrase used on us
Okay, you wanna know
normal
what?
people.
Our true home awaits us in Arkham.
the fucking what?
You say Archeon?
They've been shooting them down. Those ghouls were members of my flock. And after the
Flock.
massacre consumed their bodies,
Fuck off.
even could wander free.
No wonder why they left the flock.
On the first floor, we kept them contained. The demons must have let them, and now they are lost forever, denied the salvation and healing glow of the
All right, buddy.
these ones.
Are you playing SpongeBob music while listening to this vid?
No, that does kind of sound like that.
There are any left. They were referring to Chris. I doubt you had much luck as you tried telling him. We had the same discussions when it first appeared. Soon enough, we realized that Chris was a gift from. The demons appeared from nowhere. Except it might be more accurate to say the demons are invisible. Where one of them stands, the most one sees is the air shift. They
No.
flock fought bravely and killed a few, but at such a cost. Nearly half of the rest of us retreated up here. One of the demons raved at us, but they have not tried to attack us. Still, their demonic presence brought all progress towards the great journey to a standstill. But now you have come. Yes, over the intercom. Threats of death. It went on for hours, and did not always make sense. But that was the first day. Will you drive away? Praise the Creator. Bless you, Wanderer. Bless us all. As soon as the underground has been
You're not
ready-
helping him, are you?
Dude, I'm just helping him. That way he shuts the fuck up.
He's
Also,
talking
Nightkin are
forever.
bastards anyway. Yeah, Nightkins suck. They're invisible, and apparently all the rebar clubs that I've been finding around are theirs. So that's not fun. They're giant, invisible, and
Carry
hit you over the head
rebar
with rebar
clubs.
clubs.
It's amazing. If the other two things weren't enough.
Yeah, hell is real, and those are its harbingers, you know.
Hell is real and they have a fuck ton of rebar.
I don't have 25 lockpick. I forgot to get lockpick my last level up. No, you need missing guns, fucking dork. Alright. Basement, here I come. Ooh. What
Hello,
even
Safan.
is your
How you
problem,
doing,
man?
dude? I'm glad you made it out to the stream. I've been studying the anatomy now for like 6 days. Here, the video's over. Let me like pull up the actual work going on. What am I doing? An anatomy study for animation on a new species that I'm making.
Didn't even turn around before I blew his shit off.
I have my sketchbook out too, just for reference. How can I possibly make this work out? By the way, I muted the background gameplay. That way, the madness can go crazy on the stream. Is this really how? Okay. All right. So I'm just doing a quick sketch on my sketchbook just to understand what I'm about to put into practice. No, I didn't die. I'm fine. Can you guys hear me in the stream correctly? I really hope my audio is going through. But no, I did not die. I'm fine. I'm just doing a sketch. Actually, can I, Emerson, let me check my own stream. Doing a sketch. Yeah, okay. I could hear myself in the stream. There's a bite. Okay. 5. Yeah. Alright. This time it start the head to set the spine. Unfortunately, this might be the most inaccurate gesture I've made yet. A really dynamic sock. Pended ramp. Alright, let's put this together. I got another sketch. I need a camera just for my sketchbook. Okay. I think I should just set up the line works before I get into detailing. Perspective is something that exists. New gesture. Then display with line weight. I don't know why I decided to say that, and then guys stop getting distracted of random, boring shit like that that doesn't matter. I don't think there's anything here that I could do. No, just, again, let's make this a disaster save instead of just giving up on the gesture. How can I fix this? How can I make this look correct in space? So remember contours and why we love them. They give a great sense of space. Alright, I found the problem of this great design. It is way too feminine. The other issue with this is I'm not doing this plate correctly. This plate belongs here. And that creates the shell consistency. It also creates a more accurate anatomy. Now lastly, I just need to make this thing look less feminine. I know I said feminine like it was a black plague. Black death. Need to make it look less feminine. Now what's the other guy of the plague? The white plague. He died immediately. How come the black plague can't do that? It's all over America. Why does this design look so feminine? It's because of the hips. Okay, this is mostly a disaster save. Okay. I have gotten like 90% of this design down. It's gonna piss me off to have to research the spell blades as well. At least if the greats, they have reference of the human body since they're a Pithecus. But like, the spell blades are just made of cloth. Good. Holy shit. That took a really, really long time to figure out for some reason. That's rough. And therefore, if this were to be an armor piece, I kind of just started sketching, but this actually works perfectly because, well, what I'm sketching is the head form, and that's exactly what I'm studying, the head form. It's kind of why it's important to understand, even though the contour exists on the head somewhere, it's important to know where the contour exists. That way I could create helmet designs that are convincing. You know what's one of the weirdest things I thought of, Payne? Some of the best art out there isn't even like correct in terms of how fine art tries to teach you. Some of the best comic book artists, they just like make perspective up. They know perspective, but they don't take out a ruler to figure it out. Because the truth is, 99% of your viewers don't know even half of what went into your art. You can make it look convincing if you have enough knowledge of what you're looking at. I don't even need any of those structure lines either, because I know what I'm looking at, and this allows me to be more stylized. This allows me to get in the rhythm. That's a convincing enough helmet to most people. Like, Payne, most of the people around me say that that is really good art. But, like, okay. But yeah, basically what I was talking about was the way people observe my art and how I learn it. Like, as long as I make the illusion convincing enough, some of the best like comic book artists in the world, they don't like do fine arts the way it's just taught. They just make up perspective convincing enough for like the average viewer to look at and be like, yeah, that's good. Like, if you look at one of my drawings right now and you say, oh yeah, Luca, that's good, you have no idea what you're actually looking at. I actually learned about that from, I took a class from a dude who does, like, comic art. This was a long time ago, but he brought that exact image up. The dude who's in charge of that is a comic book artist, too. He knows exactly what he's doing, obviously, which makes the proportions even funnier, in my opinion. And what was his name again? I can get in contact with him. I have my my art teacher. I have him friended on Steam. He's played like 6 minutes of Bloons TD6. Lionel is his name. Check him out, guys. Yeah, big chest Captain America right here. I love how the angle of the chest is so fucked, but like the arm muscles are pristine. Somebody made the somebody made the same image of Hawkeye in the same pose. It's glorious. Yeah, now I can give, like, say, I spent all week learning this shit, but it's so worth it now because I have control over the anatomy. So much more control over not just what I'm looking at, but what everybody else is looking at now. I could give these guys an attitude. By learning how to draw the same thing over and over, I'm able to make the same thing over and over look different, convincingly. And I think that's pretty dope. Like, I can add some style to these caricatures without it looking like straight dog shit. Now all I need to figure out is the head proportion. This is like the neutral state of the head. So I'll just play with this. This will be our little sandbox. And then we're gonna put a bunch of different eye types on it. You know what, actually? Why won't I just start getting stylized of the eye types? The eye types give personality. I don't need to have a specific eye type for the Great Blade. It's like how Asians and Americans have different eye types. So, did they say the Great Charade? Oh, like from Halo? Man, Fallout stealing from Halo, bro. This is some ridiculousness. You know what? I'm copywriting East. Like, I got anybody. I'll give you the spacesuit though. He's like found in his closet. I mean, of all things to find out here, spacesuit isn't the worst, I'd imagine. Having a spacesuit sounds very useful in a hazardous ecosystem. Dude, what is that guy's voice actor? Oh yeah, by the way, I learned earlier, Luca told me Usopp's voice actor died. Yeah, it turns out that he also played Goku. All the best ones, man. I mean, if the Dobby voice actor died, it wouldn't really be that much. In fact, it wouldn't be better at all. Look. Everybody's just dying, man. You're neurotic. He sounds like if that if the check-in lady from Monsters Inc. had a husband. Always watching, Wazowski. Always watching. Do you see his plan, though? I think it's straight bull that you see his plan. Yeah, one thing I find interesting about games like Fallout is the vast amount of voice acting. Okay, this seems pretty open shut at this point in terms of what I'm looking for. Now we gotta think of what the main source of clothing the greats are going to have. One second. have returned. And that means they're very active in the line of duty and trying their best. You sick fuck. What did that doctor do to you, Peyton? Can you believe this guy's people in the first world economy? Okay, maybe not economy, but like first world. So like, in the Fallout universe, is America the only place that looks fucked up? Like, does Ireland just look fully modern? No, Ireland. I like to imagine they went for everyone else before us. Alright, let me unmute Peyton from the thing. It's the Batman conversation. Oh, so who's sending hearts? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Woohoo.
Alright, back to work on these gestures.
Of course, this guy's doing well.
If you guys don't know right now, I'm looking at... Ooh, that's really cool. Drawing there. Yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm looking at drawings at the moment. In the past. Concept art for Monster Hunter.
Mole man? This guy's insane. Can I buy something from you? He's trying to get from me. The chupacabra? Fuck off. There's bullets in them. God, chupacabra with an automatic weapon. Okay. What the fuck? Commie ghost who... Communist ghost. So they can fly up, paint the moon pink, and draw a Lenin face on it. What?
Hell yeah.
Communist ghost. I think I'm good. I think I'm good with never talking to that guy again. This guy has a rigged shotgun pointed towards his door. This is the life.
Maybe the enemy being faced is the way to go here.
They got spies all over. I'm more worried about the shotgun. Not gonna lie, man.
Worried about all the wrong things in life, Peyton. not the things that are gonna get you killed. You're worried about things like shotguns and radiation.
That's really okay.
We're in a little desert. Neighbors know.
Do you know the calorie count that's in a Big Mac, Peyton?
Well, there's Dinky down that side. He's nice. Up the road.
Bet he could use that in a Fallout universe.
Other than that, nothing to do. Well, up north a ways, see a big tower. And there's a town just east of here called Nelson. Used to be such a quaint little place until those slavers took it. We got
Slavers.
a nice in our direction, and so far, slavers have left us alone. I just know what I've heard. There's supposed to be some pools that went. Ever so often there'll be a commotion from that direction. Explosion.
I love how the one constant that survived the nuclear fallout is racism.
Yeah. What's the quickest way out of this dump?
You got no comment here.
Is that the dialogue option you chose?
Yeah.
I can hear you getting chewed out about it.
I think he gets lonely standing around in that diner belly all day. He'll be glad for the company. Well, let's see. Dusty with rides and losing room, but that's probably the heat more than anything. Honestly, it's been real quiet. Ranger Andy's still hurt, but we got these two gentlemen snipers who watch the road day and night. Keep them trapped. They've been a blessing.
Well, I gotta kill someone, but honestly, I really don't know who it could be.
You don't know who it could be that you gotta kill? Are they just like giving you breadcrumbs?
They're giving me breadcrumbs laced with fentanyl. Yeah, dude. Where's Marty? Manny's the only one I could think it would be, because, you know,
He's
called
black?
his wife a bitch, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a much worse thing.
What's new?
Why do you say that much worse thing?
First
It
time.
implies that being black is bad.
Time. You hear that? You get a tip that some flavors. Clips. Station. Get there and search. No sign anyone's been there. That's leaving. Hear something behind you. Turn around. Kid. In boat. Looking up. I go to grab him out of there. He shuts himself back in the closet. That's when I see the grenade he left on my feet. They do it a lot to me, shooting kids.
Wow.
Anyway, that was the first time. Second time, I fell down the stairs in front of the motel, just in case I got to thinking and put it all behind me.
As if game characters I'm falling down the stairs.
Sure, it was very inspiring. What? Was with it. I still like to pretend I'm a trainer. I'll check in with them. Sometimes they stop by, tell me they're paying disrespect. They haven't been responding. Guess they got tired of hearing me talk. still got me. Hell, listen to me talk. I'm a damn mother. No. They're gonna think I'm having trouble. Good story. Don't give them enough money. Hey, wait a sec. I know what I said, but
No.
You
You need
should
to remember the importance of contours.
whoever did this smells a rat. Don't come here.
Come here again. Fuck off. You're not even where you're supposed to be. Dickwad.
welcome to the Dino Bite. Listen, it's like every traveler. They see the sign and think, gift shop. That's just too good to be true. Jeannie Mae always points them back in my direction. Well, a friend of Jeannie's is a friend of mine. My friends get a discount at my store.
Woohoo.
Well, there's tea. We also have an assortment of the Repcon factory too. Rock, things of that nature. Guns? Darn it, no one ever buys the T-Rex. Sure thing. Have a look.
That's a gun. Oh, slut.
Hell yeah, you got a gun?
Grenade. Hell yeah. Caravan shotgun? Alright. A balanced katana's grip? This guy has everything. Okay, this guy has some insane... A power fist?
Is this like some dude's shop?
Yeah.
It's got a
They
power
rat
fist
away?
in
I'm gonna
there?
buy those. Silver Eagle?
Stole this one from right under an Astartes nose.
What firearm could even be... Well, what does that gun imply? That's just what the gun's called. That gun. Fuck you. You wanna know what? Fuck you.
That gun. So what, they just got like omega cancer?
Well, they unloaded what they had left from the diner. Gotcha. That was full of time. Many of the men, seeing as how they're one of a kind collector, might still have some in back. I mean, see, I partly, but I like it. I think maybe it's time. Are you kidding me? Come back. Welcome back. Can I get you anything? Sure thing. Have a look. Come back. Welcome back. Can I get you? Okay, I admit it. They've been collecting dust since before I got here. You can have them dirt cheap. Sure thing. Have a look.
You call him out on selling something?
Mm-hmm.
A high price? What was he trying to sell you, Payne? What's that dirty barnacle trying to do?
Souvenirs.
Wow. Of what? Like Shit Creek? What place could you possibly get a souvenir from?
Rockets. Bunch of rockets.
Okay. And you said you can have them dirt cheap? You just like find them?
They're cheap. Yep. I'm gonna assume this is the door. Hell yes. Jeez. That doesn't fill me with hope. Going into that room gave me radiation. If I... Oh my god, there are so many of these. Wait. These are the thing... Oh shit, I accidentally stole something. That's really mean.
That's all they said about it? That's really mean?
No, I said that. I lost karma for it. And the guy who I stole from, so I just took it back.
Yeah, but the dude who gave you the rockets dirt cheap, you really did him like that?
I'm just spamming the take button because there's so many of these things. How you doing, poorly? A blunderbuss? What would... Alright.
A blunderbuss?
He's talking about a a blunderbuss that spins around and shoots real fast.
Sounds like a mighty fine deal.
Hmm. Hi.
Oh, well, that's all just a big misunderstanding. Mr. Bishop, well, he owed me a lot of money, and, you know, he's a busy guy. So I sort of figured I'd just take it off his hands.
Wow, a guy owes you money. He's busy, so you do it yourself. That's crazy.
I might have...
I might have sort of plowed his daughter a little. Okay. My hat off to you.
Bishop finds me and I don't have his money. My balls are going to be on his trophy.
My balls are gonna be on this trophy.
Oh, so you have... You don't know Mr. Bishop. He's not like other bosses up there. You know, I knew if I didn't get way the hell away from New Reno...
That's fair. Also kind of plans on it. I don't know. Lightning Park.
Any word on the station, Charlie?
Alright. We go over to Station Charlie. Oh no.
What happened?
All the people here are dead.
Hey, made me think something bad happened.
What the fuck? Hold on. They're Legion.
The cut. Dead. The Legion obeys. Ready yourself for battle.
Oh, you fuckers don't know. I'm ready to kill every single man that stands in front of me. If you worship a god, pray to him. For I, fuck, I fucked it. For you will meet him. Whatever. Just get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of your shit. Had enough? Tard.
Riri.
For reference, what I'm doing against these guys, I'm just gonna throw a shit ton of dynamite at them. Oh my god, you guys are the fucking worst.
Oh shit, let's go. You're gonna throw dynamite at him?
Okay, there are like 5 guys here that are fully armored. I'm gonna have to have a plan.
When? New toy.
Alright. I see how this is gonna happen. Alright, I'm gonna have to start off with a frag grenade, pull out the grenade launcher, and just shoot at him. Also, Kaiser.
Who's
Fucking
Kaiser?
dork. I thought it would be Caesar since it's pronounced Caesar, but no, it's Kaiser. Of course, it's Kaiser. These guys are dressed up like Romans. The Kaiser had 90%. Go to hell, you Legion twat. Okay, this is gonna be a really big problem. Oh shit! I don't know how I'm gonna beat these guys. Guess I'm just gonna have to shoot them and blow them up. I really don't know what else I could do.
I love how you've like relapsed twice now, and you have come to the same and exact solution each time.
Like, yeah, what the fuck? They're just guys. I'm gonna blow them up, obviously. Oh shit, they have. Okay. I've lost. Okay. You like that? Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab their armor. Yeah, super sledge. That's what. Oh baby. They sent the high value guys after me. Okay, I'm seeing a problem here. I'm gonna have to lock the fuck in for this shit. Yeah, one of the guys there has a super sledge. Pretty big problem for me. You know, you kill one of them, kill all of them, you know? Simply the way of life. Why the fuck did he do? Shut up! I'm just trying to get him a fucking weapon out. Fucking hell. Worst people ever. Can't wait for a damn second. Okay. Thing is, they kind of like instantly got my. Yeah. That was a really bad because they like damn near instantly blew off my arms. Once you get your arms broken, you're kind of fucked. You baby. Okay, yeah, no.
All right.
Go to hell, you bastard! Blow him to hell. Hell yeah. Alright, get over here. I'm gonna beat him over the head. Ooh.
See, now all I have to do is figure out the armor trafficking that's going on. All the different types of armors I can fit, there needs to be a fundamental armor.
Blow him all to hell. Oof. That was pretty rough. I gotta admit. Get it over 1,000. Okay.
Alright. With that, I think I'm going to end the stream and research some armors. Thank you for watching, guys.